hell is going on? You've got to get with me, baby. We could live young, wild, and free. I never thought that this could happen. What the hell is going on? 'Cause I love you, I need you, I see you grooving on the dance floor. I never thought that this could happen. What the hell is going on? 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 I traveled far to be with you, then you leave me, girl. That's not cool. I never thought that this could happen. What the hell is going on? 'Cause I love you, I need you, said I see you moving on the dance floor. I never thought that this could happen. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on, baby? Tell me what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? 'Cause there was a time you were here with me, girl. All things were fine, lost and happily, baby. Then you decide that you're not gonna be mine. Well, I lost my mind. This life is not for me. 'Cause I love you, I need you, and I see you grooving on the dance floor. I never thought that this could happen. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Yeah. What the hell is going on? Tell me what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on, baby? What the hell is going on? Ladies and gentlemen,
What's
welcome
up?
to Call in America. My name is Kelvin West,
I'm Taylor.
and we are the CIA.
What's the CIA stand for?
It stands for Call in America. Call me now,
There
but
you
not
go.
now, not right now, not right at this moment. I mean, you could call me right now if you know the number. You're just getting all the spotlight tonight.
Oh, me?
I need to move over. I need to get in the show. I want
It's
to
the
do
T West
right
show.
here. It is a T West show. I'd watch that show. I watch that show daily. How you doing, Tay?
I'm good.
What are we talking about today, man? Like, how's the week been for you outside, in America?
You know, it's in America. There's still a lot of things going on. I honestly haven't been cued in like I have, and I think that's important. Sometimes taking a break from reality a little bit, not reality, but the news.
Shit, reality, man.
Checking out a little bit and just focusing on some things right in front of you, whether that's work or your home life or whatever the case may be. So that's been kind of my past week, but we do have some topics that we're going to be discussing today.
We do.
So.
I do want to shout out, though, that you have gotten into cooking, and that's mainly through your Discover Cooking group on Facebook. But you've done these packages where you can they're like slow cooker meals. Right?
Well, they're awesome because we don't know how to cook like quick, simple things, like all of our stuff takes minimum of an hour, but we don't do homemade macaroni and cheese anymore, So what we decided to do is how can we do things that are easy but still like really, really good, So I found 3 different meals that you just pull them out of the freezer the night before, let them thaw out, and then you put them in a slow cooker. What do we have? We have beef broccoli early in the week. Tonight we're having
tastes just like some Chinese food that you would get ordered, delivered to your house. Right? It's fantastic.
That's been fun. And then we also have Hawaiian meatballs tonight with like pineapple and bell peppers and stuff.
And it's all about the balls, baby.
All about the balls.
It's all about the balls. I've had some of Taylor's balls, and those balls are
okay.
good.
Wrap it up.
What? There was a Mad TV. I think it was a Mad TV sketch. Either Mad TV or SNL back in the day when they're talking about sweaty balls.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm aging myself. What are we talking about tonight, Tay? What is happening in America? Call in America. What is happening?
One of our first topics is about the two Los Angeles deputies that were shot.
Let's talk about it.
They are in better condition now from the last that I heard. But we'll be discussing that.
And it also happened again today in Phoenix. All right, or in Arizona. The story just came out today.
The drive-by in downtown.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna look up the article and really look at it. But I think there was like an attack on some deputies today. I think one of our first guests is gonna know a little bit more about that. And so we're gonna talk all about that. Everybody got a blue alert today, so we're gonna talk about it. That's tonight's hot topic. What else are we talking about today?
The reality of Trump 2020.
Hey man, Trump versus Biden.
Mm-hmm. I think
how you riding?
Trump is talking some trash against Biden this week.
Wow.
But
and Biden is not doing some things that Trump's doing.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about it. Let's get into
I don't want any politician knocking on my door. It's a pandemic.
COVID-19, man. I'm not. No, we're good. Seats taken.
Right.
We're good. What else, man?
Email. And then, in case things couldn't get any more weirder in 2020, there's a possibility that life has been found on Venus.
On Venus, baby. On Venus.
All right.
I'd move to Venus, but we're going to talk about that tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started. We're going to bring our first guest on. Oh, before we do that, I do want to say something amazing is happening this Sunday. We are actually going to be hosting You Racist, Sexist, always mess it up. You Racist, Sexist, Bigot world premiere. Okay, so they're doing a virtual premiere for their new film, You Racist, Sexist, Bigot, and we get to co-host it. And so super excited about that.
What's really cool about it, though, is like there's us, but then there's also like 10 people that were either in the film, they're writers, they're producers, like
artists,
there's a lot of people.
Legit artists, all from Arizona, all walks of Arizona. We got trans, you got gay, black, straight, white, everybody. Everybody's there. This party is for everybody. This film was made back in 2016. And it's still so current now. You can there's a link actually in this in the show description, show notes. You guys can click on it. You guys can rent the movie now. It's only $1.99, I think, to rent the movie, and then you could buy it for I believe like $7. I might be wrong on that. I apologize, but it's all in the link. And check it out, guys. And then be here. We're going to be creating the virtual event link tomorrow, and then I'll be having that out on Call in America. You can find it on You Racist, Sexist, Bigot on Facebook.
You gonna dress up?
Oh, baby, I'm dressing up. It's a black tie affair. It's a red carpet affair.
We're gonna
have I'm gonna do my hair. Okay, we're gonna have a step and repeat that we're gonna be in front of. So that's gonna be super exciting. Definitely check that out on Sunday. Here are the rules to Call in America. We've got two wonderful guest hosts. We've got Moheeb, who's an amazing guy who's doing some interesting things on Facebook. He just has a voice. He's a vulnerable voice too. He shared some things via social media that has just been awesome, and I think kind of groundbreaking, and just things that need to be said right now. And so he's just a voice that needs to be heard. And we invited him on the show. So we're super excited to have him. Then we got Bill Hemphill, who's absolutely amazing. And he's kind of a guy who I wish I was better friends with while he still lived here in Phoenix. He just recently moved to Florida. And he's just a no holds barred kind of guy that has a lot of shit to say. And so I'm really excited about the conversation tonight. So that being said, if you call in, you can call in when you see the number on the screen. When you see the number on the screen, please call in America. We want to hear from you. You'll get a moment to either speak your truth or to ask us a question. So you'll have like a minute or two to say what's up. Keep it PC, guys. This is a real dialogue. This is about having conversations. If you're calling just to get on and make a fool of yourself, you can do that too.
What's the rule though?
The rule is, baby, your opinion is yours. Your opinion's not right, it's yours, okay? Your opinion is not right, it's yours. Keep that in mind, America. We welcome all opinions. That being said, speaking of an opinion, if you don't want to call in, please put your questions in the comments. We'll read them out. Speaking of opinions, let's bring Moheeb to the stream. Mr. Moheeb, how you doing, my friend?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Moheeb
is in the house. Welcome to the virtual studio. Welcome to Call in America. The topics, my friend. We're talking about the recent shootings towards police officers from civilians. I want to know what your thoughts are on that. And then that's going to be where we kind of start. And then we're going to bring Bill in, and we're going to talk about Trump versus Biden. Go ahead, speak your truth, man. What's up? You got that blue alert today. Go ahead.
Yeah. So first, I want to deconstruct something that's been on my mind that I think helps lead into understanding the mindset of people that go out and attack cops, or just all the conflict that we're having in the nation and abroad. as we grow up, Hollywood trains us. So I think most people in some way, shape, or form learned about the world through media. And before social media and YouTube and TikTok, everybody watched movies, TV, or absorbed it through some way. And that taught us these kind of idealistic views and very black and white ideas. Whereas, for example, with the virus, we assume that because in Star Trek, Dr. Crusher can just whip up a hypo spray because she gets a sample of the virus and boom, now we have a cure and just distribute it. And that's just how it works. And then the world was hit with an actual pandemic in 2020 where they hadn't seen one before. And we're faced with the dark reality that that's not how the world works. And that's just an idealized view through media. Same with when we look at cops. Growing up, we're taught that, cops are all these awesome, idealistic, by the book kind of justice seekers that are well trained in the law. But in reality, they're people who decided that they're going to become a cop for either a career, either idealized view that they thought was being a law enforcement officer, or I'm going to be frank here, have a violence fetish. And so they go in, they take those 6 months of training, they become a cop, and reality happens. Either their biases kick in, but at the end of the day, they are trained to be violent. Most police training is how to deal with conflict in a physical way, how to restrain someone. It's not really actually about taking care and protecting and serving. Any cop that does happen to figure out how to do that the way that we want to see in the future, community-style policing, they probably learn that on their own or bring that to the plate. That's not really part of actual training, as far as I've seen. Just going back to this idea that media trains us in this way, same with how we approach fascists. We see these very caricaturized fascists and Nazis in movies, and that it's very easy for us to accept killing them. But when we're actually faced with real fascists in real life, they're just following orders, or they're this and that. So there's not an urge to be aggressive to them. So if you are aggressive to things like that, you're framed as somebody who actually does want violence, and you're a hypocrite for talking against it. And I say that because trying to understand why someone would shoot at police officers. Now, I don't know exactly what the motivation of the ones that two officers was in California and the shootings that happened here. I mean, we have very little information about the shooting that happened just today, which was a 17-year-old with an assault rifle allegedly shot at officers who were DPS officers who were making an arrest. But what I can understand is why one might have motivation, regardless of outside your specifics of motivations, right? When you go put a gun in your hand and pull a trigger, you've already dehumanized whoever you're shooting at, whether that because it's in a momentary threat where the cops, they are always saying they felt threatened. They already dehumanized Black people. That's on their day to day. And even if they don't think they're being racist, they view every criminal, everybody who's Black, anybody who's darker skinned, as being potentially criminal. And whether that's because they served in communities where the population just happens to be people who are not white, so they assume that because that's the case, it must mean because that's how all those people are, or if they directly were racist. And the same with, just now, cops did that as long as cops have been around, and now the piper is coming due, where you dehumanize everybody for so long.
So now what's going to happen to you?
Yeah.
And so I want to talk about that. That's exactly my point. First of all, thank you for that, because that was very insightful. And I love the fact that you went back. You went back and kind of explained how we over Hollywoodize or whatever, how you say that, right? We over fantasize these people that have some extreme power to them that they should not have, right? They have access to it. And never will we think cops are bad, when in fact, I believe that there is no such thing as a good cop. I've been saying that for years, because anytime you sit with somebody and they are watching people be dehumanized, which I love that you said that. That's very powerful, Moheeb. They're watching people be dehumanized by their coworkers, and they're saying nothing. You're not a good cop to me. You're not a good cop to me. So now cops are being targeted, right? And listen, I want to first go on the record and say that I do not condone violence against anyone. That is police against civilians, and civilians against police. I don't condone any of it, right? But cops do it. Cops do it. They do it all the time, and they get away with it. And they're actually praised for it. A buddy of mine posted an article today where it said that cops in some state were getting steakhouse gift cards whenever they used excessive force. That was like the whole thing. If the person
they're like being rewarded,
you're being rewarded for hurting people. You're being rewarded for hurting people. So yes, I do believe there is this culture of violence that happens when you put on that blue suit. That is what a blue life is. It is a violent life, because you're either causing the violence or you're being silent on the violence, and both are very violent decisions to make. So,
well, and when you were talking about the media and everything, where my mind went was also video games. Like one of the very first video games that came out was Grand Theft Auto. Yeah. And I remember I was a early teenager when that one came out, and it was just like, it's nuts, right? Just like a civilian walking around with a baseball bat, a gun, and they can do whatever they want. And now it's like very realistic these days when, people are shooting cops, right? Like no one wants that scenario. We don't want cops killing black people, right? Like, but it's almost like a video game scenario. But to your point, like they play it so much that they're destigmatized of what reality actually is versus what is actually a video game.
You're dehumanizing people. That's such a powerful statement.
Yeah, and I think like our culture has like an obsession with death and violence, where we try to associate so much of it to like justice versus like senseless. But often the person that is committing a violent act feels some sense of justice in doing so. Even like a lot of the cases, like these acts of passion, right? Like those types of murders, those happen because they feel in that moment that's giving them justice. And we need to remove that idea that harming life is somehow justice.
Is the end all be all and the solution to it. It's truly amazing to me. So here's the thing is that we've had these peaceful protests, and I'm always going to say peaceful protests. Yes, there were riots that happening. Listen, that's not my business. That's not the purpose. And you're focusing on the wrong thing. Why are there protests happening? Peaceful protests are happening in America because cops are murdering people, and many times these people are not a threat. They do not have a weapon, and they're walking away from police, right? Listen, I saw something on our Instagram. Our Instagram went viral, by the way, guys. So if you're not following us on Instagram, Calling America on Instagram, we had a hit. We got there, man. We got partially there. Viral was like really big, but we had a post that went out that was really, really got some engagement on it. Over 300 comments, over 2,000 likes for it. And there was this comment in there because I tried to read them all, and I was really proud of the discussion that was happening in the thread. There was some ignorance in there, and there's always going to be some ignorance in there. And I want to talk a little about that too. But I was proud of the comments that we had in there. And one of the comments was about resisting arrest, because this whole idea of like stop resisting, right? If they just complied. So the maximum penalty, and look this up, fact check me please, because I saw this off one of the commenters on the Instagram who is a knowledge person about this type of stuff. He said that the maximum penalty for resisting arrest is 6 months. 6 months. How does that equate to death? So cops are completely, overusing their power, and they're becoming, what is that called? They're becoming the judge, the juror, and the and the executioner. So it's like that is not your job, and that's nowhere near your responsibilities to take people out because you feel scared because somebody was looking at you weird.
Yeah, and that bothers me so much because like what an officer's purpose is to uphold the law, and like the core institution, like growing up, to me, what made like America great was that we have a country where you're innocent until proven guilty, and we have a justice system, the courts, that are intended to make sure that you are judged by a jury of your peers, where there's a fair, balanced trial. So a cop deciding that like death is the way to do this, or like brutal violence is the way to go, them committing crimes and then justifying it by saying, well, we felt there was justified in that situation.
Absolutely.
To do that harm, even though by doing that, they're completely like just stepping on the neck of our like whole, institution of what is supposed to make America great. And that is a huge crime to me. That's treason.
It's huge. You're absolutely right. So Taylor said something a couple weeks ago about you said something effective. I'd rather be judged by 6 than. What was it?
So it was
in regards to police officers.
Yeah, it was a quote from an actual cop that said, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6, which means basically I'm gonna do everything in my power
to protect his
right or wrong to stay alive.
Right.
which means if I have to kill someone, I'm going to kill them whether it's right or wrong, versus being shot myself and carried by 6 people in a coffin
with bulletproof vests on, with 6 other guys around you, with apps. I mean, how do you feel scared? I don't understand how cops feel so afraid all the time. You know, we got this blue alert thing today on our phones, and I just was like, what is this blue alert? And at first I was concerned. I thought there was like a rogue cop, which I was like, oh crap, maybe we're getting somewhere. Maybe we're getting somewhere in America. But nope, it was because a cop, you know, and listen, again, I don't condone violence against cops, but if you created a situation where the only communication that you respect and listen to is violence. That's it. Cops don't care about peaceful protests. They don't care about kneeling during the anthem. They don't care. America doesn't care about any of that stuff, right? And so now these cops, which created this violent environment, are starting to feel the burn of it. And now you want to send me an alert because you're scared of the environment you created. I just don't care, you know. And it's hard, you know. I feel bad for saying that, but I just don't care. We're going to bring in Mr. Bill Hemphill. And ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are open. Give us a call. If you got something to say, you're going to weigh in on tonight's topic, give us a call. 585-502-7922. Call me now. But before we move on, I want to hear what Bill's got to say. And I want to hear him weigh in on his thoughts about what is happening in America in regards to the police now being targeted. And then we're going to talk about Trump versus Biden. Welcome, Bill Hemphill, to the show. What's up, buddy?
Good morning, Kelvin. How are you today?
Well, it's good morning to you, Bill. I'm doing quite fantastic. So welcome to the show. Welcome to Call America. You know what the topics are, man. I want you to briefly kind of just weigh in on our current topic, which is, you know, violence towards cops in 2020. What's your thoughts, baby?
Okay, so of course I don't want to see people getting hurt in the streets or the world devolving into chaos. We should be having a conversation about how we get here. How do police kill 1,000 people a year? And how do those people feel after 20, 40, 60, 300 years of this? How do you react to not just the deaths, but to just kind of being harassed or being roughed up a little, right? How does having this police presence in your community make you feel? And then on the other side of the coin, what are we doing to address that? Versus how far are we going to take a couple isolated incidents, right? So 2 schools get shot up full of kids and they're isolated incidents, but 2 police get shot at. 2 of them didn't even get hit. And this is an emergency. And this is a situation that's out of control. It's like 1,000 people a year is a situation out of control.
Woo, boy. Speak that truth, baby. Moheeb, what are your thoughts? Weigh in.
So yeah, I agree with that. So like when it comes to the blue alert stuff, right? I think I had the same thought that everybody else had when they got it, right? That, oh, is this like some sort of like essentially a marketing thing to like, oh, look how much the police are getting hurt and attacked? Is it like, I think we all were paranoid that it was some sort of form of like subversive propaganda. And so I think I sent you an article that I found from just a Google search that it's been a thing since 2008, right? And I didn't fully read the article, but it was, I think the intention was there probably like, hey, yeah, like we want people to know about an active shooter and all that. But I agree, like, yeah, I would love to know if there's something happening near me that's like potentially dangerous, but also doesn't need to be called a blue alert. Do I need to know as a cop? Is that pertinent to the situation? Like, why make that so specific? Is it to alert other cops to like grab their guns and show up? Is it like, what is the point? Is it to build fear?
I think it is, man. I think it is. You know, we had a comment today because I posted about that. You know, about that being the hot topic tonight. And one of the comments on our Instagram was that this is just a way for cops to kind of get, you know, to get the little violins going for us to feel bad for them. I don't care. I do not care, man. I don't care that you are being targeted. I honestly don't. I just don't. And I don't know if that's heartless of me or if that's just because I'm fed up. But it's like, again, why are you a cop? Why are you a cop? You walk around with a bulletproof vest for a reason, right? Like that's not just like a fashion for cops. Cops can be shot at. Like that is by design. So you're walking around with a bulletproof vest and you have guns and you've got like this, you know, you got a gang of people with you. What are you scared of? You know, right. What are you scared of? So it's like, I don't care that you're frightened that someone is mad at you. You know, like that's just my personal thoughts.
It's like, would we be mad if like somebody in say China or like in Russia was being had an encounter with the cops, or they saw somebody getting disappeared, right, because of the national security law, and they decided to shoot at those cops? Again, nobody wants violence, right? And we know that those cops are just other cogs in the fucked up machine. I'm sure I can say fucked up, right? And
this is YouTube, baby. You can say fuck shit, say whatever you want.
All right, awesome.
Your show.
Like if that's like, we would all be understanding if somebody shot that police officer in China who was trying to disappear someone. That's not what happened here exactly, but that's why I think we are less bothered by it, because we saw this like, this is what you've invited. We don't want that. And again, we all want harm reduction. No one wants death, but it's going to happen. And I don't give a shit if you if it's whoever, if the shooter is a danger to me, then yes, please give an alert. If it's a danger to cops, I ain't a cop. Like, you have radios. Talk to yourselves. Like, are you worried that I've got?
You have the World Wide Web of people with guns.
Right.
They
Come on, man.
World Wide Web of, hey, CIA, this is the cops. Hey, ICE, whoever. They're all interconnected, right?
That's why I didn't show CIA.
Grandpa Joe out in Sun City to get his gun ready and his golf
or the 17-year-old kid, who drove across state lines to go help our cops. Y'all got people for you. I do not care that you're afraid that you think somebody's going to take you out. I don't wish death upon anybody, but you brought this on yourselves, and I don't care. Don't send me no alerts. It's just stupid. I trolled today a little bit because Fox News posted the information, and I just put it on there. I was like, we should have a black alert, right? Black people need a black alert sent to all cell phones when there's cops in the vicinity who are on the hunt for black people. And boy, did that become very popular.
Cell phones will never stop.
And I was ready. I was ready today. I was waiting for them. So it was fun trolling. I troll a little bit sometimes because it's good to make it's good to make the other side kind of get a little emotional too. So
and Moheeb, you said something that kind of got my brain going about the blue alert being propaganda for what's going on, right? And so I saw a post. I just looked it up, and I just want to read it off real quick. It says, "How do you know you're being propagandized? Other countries have universal health care, free college, paid vacations, paid maternity leave, and multiple political parties. You've been convinced we can't have the same things in the richest and most powerful nation on earth. Of course we can.
Richest and most powerful.
So what it's telling us is that we don't want change, right? It's not in the better interest of us. And that's, to your point, like, is it the blue alert propaganda? I mean, are they willing not to change? Is this the beginning of us saying that things are all going to stay the same, right?
These cats can kill for free and take a vacation. Why would they want anything changed? It's a gang. I'm sorry. The cops are in a gang. They are in a gang. They're in the biggest gang in America.
Organized.
And it's organized crime, as far as I'm concerned. And here's the other thing too. And I just saw this. I don't know no facts about it. I am going to mention it because this is not the first time that I read something on this. The shooting that happened in LA, what I heard was that it is partial. It may be linked to like there's like an undercover, like the theory is, or the rumor is, that there is that the cops are run by the gang in LA. Right. And that there's this idea that the stuff that's happening against the cops is actually just gang violence that's happening. And they don't give a damn if you're a cop or not.
I saw this last year, I think, before everything started up this year, where they identified several cops that have all the same tattoos, which it was like, and I think it was cops against Latinos or something like that. Exactly. They were specifically going against a targeted individual group, and they had cops that were part of this anti-Latino culture. I want to say it was Latino. I can't remember what it was, but it's definitely organized. And they play both sides. Like, you're a cop, but you're also a gang member. Those things go against each other.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right, guys. Listen, the phone lines are open. 585-502-7922. We got quite an audience tonight. We want to hear from you guys. Call in, speak your truth. What are your thoughts, man? We're gonna switch over to our next topic here. We're gonna talk about Trump versus Biden.
Before we move on, I want to say one thing. So I just want to say to keep in mind that with the shootings, when cops get attacked, we get footage right away. We get all the details day of. But anytime they kill any citizen, you have to wait. You have to fight to get that info.
You're gonna send the guy on a paid vacation, brought to you by our tax dollars, right? Paid vacation while we investigate. And you know what they're investigating? They are investigating how to spin this so that we can make the victim be the enemy to America. And that's what happens every single time. Every single time a black person gets pulled over and gets shot up and beat up by some cops, you know, the pullover, it was all routine, right? Oh, we just pulled him over to the center, but then we found all this stuff, right? And this is what it's really about, is because he was this criminal. Nah, man, you targeted this black guy and you went after him, and I'm sorry, you know, people have backgrounds, you know, people have things in their past, so it doesn't justify their death. So that's my thoughts on that. Give us a call, guys, 505-585-502-7922. Let's talk about Trump versus Biden. Bill, you have some thoughts on this. I just want you to weigh in, man. Take a minute to let's get real. Let's get intimate. Go ahead.
All right. So here's what I think. This is hard. Trump can win this if Democrats, especially moderate, middle-aged white Democrats, prosperous Latinos, prosperous people of color all throughout the community who feel like it's enough to be against Trump. He's got a solid ground game. His supporters had a boat parade, however ill-fated that is. That's a lot of energy. He's making phone calls, he's working hard, and he's pushing an agenda that we don't like, but we know what it is because we're against it. We know what his agenda is. Biden has no agenda to push forward, so we have to carry him to Trump. And it's a hard carry, and I don't want to do it because I'm a progressive and I want more change. So I need my moderate friends and family to get up and get to work and quit unfriending your Trump supporting family and convincing them to vote for Biden. Get to work. You were going to court moderate Republicans? Well, then you got to get to work courting moderate Republicans.
Hey, man.
You want the left to be excited? Give us the Green New Deal. You want us to drag Biden across the finish line? We'll help you, but we're not towing the line. You got to get to work.
Hey, man, and that was brought to you by Bill Hemphill. He approves of this message. Moheeb, I want you to weigh in, man. What are your thoughts? Because there's a lot that was just said right there, right? You know, but besides the campaigning, which I love that and I respect that. The thing about it is that there's a reality, and I know this because I walked away from the Democratic Party. There's a reality in America where, like, I just feel like a lot of things that the Republicans say about Democrats are actually really true. Not focused, very emotional. And quick to just be like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this, right? And so no accountability. And I think that is why that's why we lost in 2016. And I believe that's going to it's going to be why we lose again in 2020, because we get so lost in this hope, right? Oh my God, Kamala Harris. And I was there too, man. Listen, for that week, I was like, yes, we got a black woman on a ticket. We doing it. I'm voting this year.
Kamala has a plan though. Kamala has
she does,
right? Like,
she does.
She does have. You know, and I don't know all of them, but she definitely has one to address universal health care.
Baby, she's a black woman. She's a black woman. She has to have a plan, okay? They're born with plans. Moheeb, I want to get your thoughts on this, and let's open up the discussion. Go ahead. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I don't think that Democrats exist. And I say that because I think most people just want to outsource their, like, moral debt, right? We all believe that, like, okay, there's red and blue, right? And blue side, most part, liberal left, and everybody wants to believe that, okay, I'm a liberal person, I'm okay with all these things that are considered liberal or open-minded and progressive, and they don't actually know about anything about policy. Most people don't care about policy, and most people don't even get involved with local elections. They have no idea who their councilmen are or council people are, so they just say, I'm a Democrat, I'll vote Democrat. And then with Trump coming in, it made everybody see that, like, one, we're easily divided, and that also within our own what we thought was we're all Democrats and we're all liberals, it's actually a lot more nuanced than that. I think most people didn't know what a leftist was or what it meant to be a libertarian. I think most people thought all those things were the same thing. So, and because of that, there hasn't been active fight to see that people think very differently, and we're not just going to accept Biden. I don't like Biden. And I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. And I think he was only really chosen because he doesn't fight billionaires, even on the left, liberal billionaires, however you want to categorize them. They're all pure capitalists in my mind, and they don't actually care about people. And then he doesn't fight billionaires, and older folk like him. He does well with the rest of the demographic that the Democratic Party cares more about, that believe that those are the active votes, because those are the people that have been active politically. Young people we now give a shit, right? Like, we give a shit because now we don't have a choice, right? It's this or annihilation of freedom. So
they do on TikTok.
Everybody's got time for everything.
Sometimes a bit much on TikTok. TikTok, I'm like, okay, white people, we get it. You're anti-racist. Go ahead. What was your question?
So, Moheeb, you started off
I'm kidding about that.
Your explanation that I just want to understand a little bit more of what this means. So you said people are Democrat to outsource their moral ethics, I believe.
Like their moral debt. So there's this idea that like you have to be involved in some way, right? Like, you care about the world and you want a better place. So you vote for people that are going to do the job for you. You're like, okay, this guy seems like a good person, or this woman, and that they seem aligned enough that they'll make things better. Like, yeah, we vote Obama. He made everything great. He's going to bring us change. Like, I don't need to actually go out and figure it out or fight in my local elections. If we have a great president, a great cabinet, like, everything just trickles down and the world is saved. Like, it's a movie. Like, oh, the hero won, so everything's going to be fine. It's like, well, the period between that movie and the sequel is that everything actually goes to crap usually, right? So I think that's what happened. I mean, I did that. I'm guilty of it. I was just like, I don't need to get involved, right? Like, I don't need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the way that you put that. And it almost correlates back to what you were saying, Kelvin, about Democrats are emotional, right? Like,
so emotional
because they're so tied into, I want to see good things happen, right? Like, and this is my way of doing that by being part of this party, you know. But I've never heard it referenced as outsourcing your moral debt, you know. Like, I like that.
And what's crazy, man, is that for a lot of black people, and I wanted to actually tonight, this week's show was actually, I wanted to talk about Candace Owens, and so I'm just gonna plant this right here. But I wanted to have an episode on Candace Owens and just this idea that black people who leave the Democratic Party, then here's where they make the mistake: they don't stop in the middle. They don't stop in the middle, and I think that everybody in America should just leave whatever party they're in and just stop in the middle, and then let's start from there, because we've all, I mean, Democrats and Republicans, they've made it, right? They're both extreme as far as I'm concerned. Democrats, when I left the Democratic Party, were some of the most racist, very anti-black, and just loudest as far as like me leaving the party. And it was very interesting because like they wouldn't dare stand up and say, you know, I and this is before the BLM movement and everything. They wouldn't dare stand up and say on their own, like, oh, I'm for Black lives. I hate what's happening to the cops. Now there's a movement. Yeah, you get a little more courage. You know, you get a little more courage to say those things. But prior to that, they would have never said that. But they were so upset that I left the Democratic Party. And they were the loudest ones to me, you know. Republicans just out there, you know, and the Republican Party, what's interesting about the Republican Party is that it's not the Republican Party, it's the Trump Party. That's what's crazy, man. It's Trump. Like, you're either Democrat or you're voting for Trump. Like that's what it's fallen down to. And so, you know, whether you believe that or not, or where your head's at on that, like that's what 2020 is going to be about. Is like, did you vote for Trump or did you vote, you know, for because you're right. Biden, who is Biden? I could care less about Biden. Biden has said some racist ass shit this year. Several times. Yeah. Several times. I do not care for Biden. Go ahead, Bill.
Biden is a painfully bad choice.
Horrible.
With a painfully bad history of being on the wrong side. He's like Forrest Gump evil version where he was on the like, I'm gonna sell coke
and he's running for president.
I'm gonna fight against it, and then I'm gonna get raves, and I'm gonna be a part of Satanic Panic with Tipper Gore. Like, he's like a super villain of epic proportion. He like tiptoed into busing. Like, he's been on the wrong side of history for so long. You could write a book called Joe Biden and Bad Decisions.
Hey, yo. Okay, now you heard it here first. Joe Biden, you can't just go ahead and use that. That belongs to Call in America. Yeah, coffee table book. Yeah, because no one has coffee tables anymore. Speaking of which, Bill makes coffee tables, and we're going to get his information and put it in the show links. Okay, so absolutely, man. Biden, terrible, man. But
well, I guess
you know, it's go ahead.
Last resort. I mean, if you know Biden and Trump all go to shit, we can fly to Venus because now they.
Hey yo, let's talk about Venus, baby. Are we there yet?
I love Venus.
I love Venus too. Okay,
it's so visible.
Yeah, there's life on Venus, right? You know, and I think that they're waiting for us because they're like, man, this whole Trump Biden stuff. Why don't you let us come to Venus? We'll go ahead and
I mean,
get
I
the
prefer
process
Mars over Venus, but you know, whatever. That's a boy versus
No. Mars is the god of war, and Venus is the god of love. We're gonna go to Venus.
Yeah, man. Venus is a female for sure.
Venus is a Democrat.
Except we'd all burn up on Venus. So,
Do you think we would though? Like, how is there life on Venus if we would all burn up? Like,
so
let's
it's
talk about
just
it. Let's get into it.
Superheated gas giant. And I want to say it's so funny. Just science Twitter and the space community right now is just filled with memes of people being upset that like life wasn't on Mars. Like they feel cheated that like it was Venus, because I guess Carl Sagan had said if we found life, it would be on Venus. And everybody's like, son of a bitch, he told us. And he's like, because no, but
Because they wanted it to be on Mars. Is that what it is?
Life on Mars, but like the Mars is an inhospitable planet, and so
it's
is
better
Venus.
branding. Life on Mars, like that's it. You can like brand that better. But go ahead.
Which fiction writer do we blame that on?
I'm out on that one.
So and it kind of makes sense. So here's the thing: we don't know for certain if there's life on Venus, but there's been enough papers that have some merit, according to other people who know more about this stuff than me, that it's because of phosphine gas, right?
Right. They found these gases, right? Yeah. Yeah.
And so that gas is normally produced either by an organic process, a biological process, and there are ways to make it artificially, but they've ruled out every known possible way to make it through a through a chemical process. So it either means that there's life on Venus, which they're saying is the more likely option, or that there's a unknown chemical process. And
what?
I'm leaning that maybe it's probably an unknown chemical process, even though I don't know crap about
That's
this stuff.
so interesting.
But because there's so much going on, it's like all these. You would imagine that a planet full of just chemicals swirling around with heat.
It's got its own rule.
But because it's so pooled, like there's such a large amount of phosphine. That's like the main thing they're saying. Yes, there are ways to do this chemically, but for there to be this much, it must be something bacterial. So who knows? It's exciting.
So
and there's enough of a soup there.
So somebody's farting down there is what you're saying. There's
like
gas coming out of somewhere.
I keep joking, and nobody's been laughing at it, that like they're gonna be like, we think we found life, but it turns out it was just gas.
That is funny. That's funny.
Yeah, that's really
that was not a sympathy laugh. So
it's a gas.
Kelvin
Right?
thinks farts are funny. Absolutely.
well, I have.
Speaking to the right audience.
Exactly.
We'll connect after the show, Moheeb. That's amazing, man. Bill, what did you have to say about life on Venus, man? Are you going to go to Venus?
Yeah, I mean, it's the planet of love, right? It's so soft and blue
like
and
Florida.
floating around all the time. I'm down.
You know, so I read an article. The other day, and it was from what's his name? The guy, the big billionaire
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. There you go. My husband, leaving him. So Elon Musk wrote an article about life on. It wasn't Venus though. It was like life on the. I think it was talking about life on the moon, or maybe Mars. But it was
Moon colony.
It was. Is that what it was? And so what he said was that that they're planning for this and that they're going to start to colonize the moon or whatever it was, and that the first colonizers, he said, many of you will die, and then it's a one-way ticket. I thought that was so crazy. People are like ready. They're like, "Yep, sign me up. I'm there."
Well,
So and these are young people.
That's my
though.
game plan. Is I want to be the first person to die on Mars. Like that is the least effort way
Damn,
to become
That's-
a mark on history. They'll name like half the planet after you. Like
Well, you'd be the
Oh,
next.
absolutely.
You'd be the next Armstrong,
Well,
right?
Moheeb, you'd probably get a couple streets named after you on the moon.
That's when you know you're a colonizer. When you're like, I'm gonna colonize space, right?
yeah.
Right. Well, I mean,
Colonize. You're trying to take over the moon. I'm like,
hey, man.
track homes. You're like, track homes.
I know.
Oh, Elon is a
revealed our-
true colonizer.
not
Even
revealed
going
our
back
I'm gonna
to-
bring some bricks and some granite countertops.
Hey, man, you'll have the Hemphill shop on the moon. It'll be amazing. We'll do Call in America from the moon. Call in moon. But yeah, man, I just think it's interesting that people are ready to just say, I'm 30 years old and I'm ready to go spend the rest of my life on the moon. Those days have to be long. There's no soda up there. There's no porn.
There
They
could
might,
Hey, man.
they might have porn.
Moon porn.
I feel
All right,
like if
guys.
you're on the moon, you'd have so much fun, you just forget, right?
Like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, right? Like even if you get up there for 5 minutes and then you die, like, hey, it was a great 5 minutes. I would go. Would you go?
I would not go.
I'm going.
I think I'm selfish, man.
I'm
Well, no,
going.
we'll talk about that. You're not going nowhere.
He's going.
But you know, maybe I'd go with a lover. I'd probably go with if I had somebody to go with. I don't know if I would go there by myself. You know, there's just so much to do on planet Earth. There's so much to do.
I don't understand why it's a one-way ticket though. Like the moon's not that far.
Because
like,
they got to go build the stuff to get you back.
But
right?
we've already
Like-
been to the moon and back.
I think the article was about Mars. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
so
that makes more sense. Like Mars is much further away.
I think it was about Mars too. And it's a one-way ticket. It's just like that movie that we
makes
saw.
sense.
The movie that we saw that I freaking love. And it's the
The
where
Martian.
they have the aliens that come out of the pods and they eat all the humans.
That is so many movies.
Why do we like? We're gonna make it
one?
to Mars before we find world peace. Like
was
that's
a movie.
fucking wrong.
It's like a spider thing that comes out and eats
Alien?
that 1 minute. And that 1 minute, there was like a robot that was in control of everything.
Oh, it's
Come on.
in New York.
What?
Was it in New York?
No, baby. They flew somewhere. I remember the guy was like putting her to sleep. No, not Austin's face. The guy was putting her to
Oh,
sleep.
yeah, it's
And she was like, no, don't do it. And then he put her to sleep. And now this robot is in control because he's got these
Oh,
alien
my
things
God.
that take over humans.
Prometheus.
Prometheus. Have you guys seen him? That's a freaking bomb ass movie.
It's a good movie.
Bomb ass movie. Let's see what the comments say. Okay.
She said, "Shruggy face."
I don't know, but it's called Prometheus, baby. That is what it's called. All right, guys, give us a call 585-502-7922. This has been a great show. What we're gonna do right now, my friends, is we're going to we're gonna turn it back to you guys, our guest hosts, and where can they find you, Moheeb? Let's start with you, baby. Where can they find you? What are you doing? What's cool? What's happening in the world of Moheeb?
Yeah, so the easiest way to find me is through Twitter. So at VirgilVox, VirgilVox. So I build robots, write about it, think various other types of electronics projects and software, cloud, all that good stuff. I also yell a lot on Twitter about politics. So if you're following me for tech, know that that's also going to happen. So yeah, that's kind of my world. That and because of your encouragement, Kelvin, I'm going to start doing more well-edited cooking videos.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
invest in a new
yes,
camera and some
Kelvin's
Le
a-
Creuset pans.
Heyo, because you know what you posted. I saw you post, and I was like, "Oh, I think you might." And my assumption was right because I was like, "That's interesting. That's interesting that you posted that video." It was the banana bread video that Taylor made, and it was awesome because we are building up. So we've learned a little about content creation and about how to do this stuff. So we started a cooking channel with him called Discover Cooking. And Discover Eats, and that's his cooking show, and it's on YouTube. However, we were building content for it, but we didn't have the views for it, and stuff like that. And so we're switching how we're doing Discover Eats than the way we're doing Call in America. So we created these videos, and it's such a long time ago. And you posted that, I was like, I think you want to make cooking videos. Let me know, and I'll help you out with anything you need, or figure it out on your own. That's the best way to do it. It is. It truly is. It truly is. What are your final thoughts on tonight's show, Moheeb?
Yeah, this has been a great discussion. Thank you for having me on. I think there's a lot to take away from it, right? And I don't think I can sum it up. And it boils down to people need to understand people's true motivations behind what they feel and what they do and how they got there. There's a lot of philosophy around living this way and helps you approach things in a more healthy like mental health mindset that'll like be better for your soul and better for communication. I'm still gonna say fuck you to the people that are just not getting it, but I think it's important for both of us, for all of us on either sides of things, to find out why instead of just hating, because that's why we're in this situation to begin with.
Moheeb, I'm in love with you. Thank you for joining our show. We're going to take you out of the stream, baby.
Thank you, Moheeb.
Boom. And then we got Mr. Bill Hemphill, my friend.
Hi, Bill.
Yeah, so
morning.
this is,
Morning.
go ahead.
How are you guys?
So good. So
Real quick question. What's the W stand for?
For William?
Ah, gotcha. Which is long
Bill,
version of Bill?
Bill, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
makes sense.
Well,
But
yeah.
people do go by Will, though, and that's not the short version of William.
Will, Billiam, Bill. I'm all right.
Billiam? Nobody goes by
Billiard.
Billiam.
I go by Billiard. My name's Billiard.
Call me
Ball.
Billiam. Yeah.
Billiam. They call you Billiam.
You call me Billiam.
I'm calling you Billiam for the rest of my life now.
Permanent
That's
Billiam.
now your name is Billiam. Okay. So Billiam.
Billionaire.
Okay, so my friend, listen up. Tell us where they can find you. Tell them what you do. You have a YouTube show. Shout it out. Tell us all about what you do, and then where they can find you. And then I want to know your final thoughts on tonight's show.
All right. So I build things like this is what I'm working on right now. This is a leg for a folding table. You can see it'll go on the table and it'll fold. And then this little wooden fit is going to slide right into it. So like you'll have a little folding table that'll fold up. And anyway, and I'm kind of working on a YouTube show about that, building that table and kind of building the workshop that I'll build that in. And then I'm on Facebook, I do live feeds quite a bit. And then and that's really where you'd find me, is either on YouTube, I'll leave a comment, or on Facebook, and I do live feeds. And
What are your final thoughts about tonight's show, baby? Weigh in.
I think it's great that we have larger conversations about what's affecting the world in a platform where we don't have to have extremes, but we can have people who are comfortable understanding that we live in a police state, and our politicians aren't necessarily always the best or on our team, but we do kind of face this impending doom if we don't act soon, right? And so I just love to see that we have an open format to discuss like what we face: police brutality, the pushback, the political ramifications, the propaganda being pushed on us. And I also just like to see you guys. I miss seeing you around. And I love you guys. You're amazing. So it felt nice to kind of spend an evening with you.
Yeah.
Bill, you're so amazing. Thank you so much. Definitely go ahead and send me your information, and what I'll do is I'll add it to the YouTube information, so that's always there and people can find you. And thank you so much, Bill.
So real quick, Billiam, are you like, I know you're in Florida, but are you ever going to visit back to Arizona?
And do you know of any of the Billiams in Florida?
I'm the third generation Phoenician, so my whole family's there.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And so yeah, and I'm in Georgia, which is amazing. It's an amazing city.
Georgia.
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, you're in.
Atlanta's awesome.
That's cool. Sorry, I thought I heard Florida.
Atlanta's awesome. You guys would love Atlanta.
That's awesome. Well, when you're here in Arizona, definitely hit us up, because I think I
love
agree
you, Bill.
I agree with what Kelvin said earlier. We didn't get to spend enough time.
I think you and I be really good friends, man. You say a lot of things that I say, and I think you're awesome. Although staying in echo chambers is not the best thing as well, but I would love to have you as an echo chamber and to bounce ideas off with you. I'm in love with you. Thank you so
Billiam.
much. Bye, Billiam.
Love you guys. Take care.
That was Billiam, ladies and gentlemen. Billiam.
I think that was my favorite part of the show.
I think it was my favorite. If you have a friend named Will or Bill, you call him Billiam from now on.
Yeah, every Bill is not Billiam.
Well, they could be, and they will be after this show. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our show, man. That was a great show. Every single time I say it, man, I was like, that was the best show we did. What are your thoughts about tonight's show?
I thought it was great. So I thought I not only learned, I saw different perspectives. Well, maybe not different perspectives, but it definitely got me critically thinking tonight, right? Like I had a lot of like, oh, that's a good point. Oh, what about this? And then it led me to other thoughts, and then sharing those thoughts and having conversations about it. Like that was really awesome. I think Moheeb is amazing. I love his perspective. I like the, what was it? The being a Democrat is.
Come on.
Let me think about it.
We just did the damn show. It's a moral responsibility.
No.
Right?
It's
wrong.
Outsourcing your moral.
Hold on, he probably put it in the chat.
Outsourcing your moral debt. Outsourcing your moral debt.
There you go. He got it. For Democrat. He said it. Democrats don't exist. There are people who outsource their moral debt.
Yes.
I'm gonna make that into a meme.
Yeah, I like that.
That's gonna be on a meme. Thank you so much.
Like he said it, and I was like, wait. What does that mean? Real quick. Let's talk about that.
Yes, we did. You just got another one. Kara, call us right now. Kara, call me now. Call me now.
I didn't get it.
I want Kira be our final caller today, baby. We didn't have a call today. Call us. Let's talk about it. You don't have to wait on anything else but that.
Did it
Go
come
ahead.
in like an Amber Alert?
I don't
I'm
know.
not getting them.
Maybe they're like, these are for the white people. Go ahead.
But no, so I think Moheeb was absolutely phenomenal.
Brilliant.
Always love seeing Bill. His energy and just the way he articulates himself is so much fun. And we defined a new name for him, Billiam. So.
Billiam. First of all, Bill is an amazing guy. I love him. So we didn't get to talk about this yet, but we kind of did like a warm up debriefing before the show, and I do that with all the guest hosts. And he said he made some he made some cookies, right? But they were cannabis cookies. And I wish I had a cannabis cookie because cannabis cookies are the bomb.
585-502.
585-522-7922. The number is on the screen, baby. Give us a call. We want to hear from you. I want to hear from the reporting to you live, right? We got Kira. She's one of our people on it's your opinion. Oh, we got another comment too. Welcome to Call America. This is Kelvin and Taylor. Who's calling and where you calling from, caller? Kira, how you doing? Where you calling from? Yes, you are. Hi, Phoenix. Keep talking. Oh, this is what it is.
We're playing around with the sound real quick. Sorry, say.
No worries. Kira, who's Kira? Who's calling? Who's calling? Where you calling from?
Kira from Phoenix.
There you go. Now people can hear. She's like, Kira, I said my name.
No, listen, Calvin.
Say my name. Say my name. All right, we got a comment too. I want to talk about this. This is from Julia Moore. Yes, it does. When a cop gets shot and someone is on the loose, it goes, okay, we're going to talk about the Amber Alert. We're going to talk about the Blue Alert. The Amber Alert. What is the Amber Alert?
The Blue Alert. I've never seen that. I've never
Come
gotten
on.
a Blue Alert before.
Do you know what it is? I'm sure everybody did the research today. They're like,
I
what
didn't
the
get
hell
it.
is
Yeah, of course. After I got it, I was like, oh, what is this? I've seen, of course, like Amber Alert.
Right.
And like the one where there's like a stolen vehicle.
Yeah.
It was the first time I ever saw like a Blue Alert, so I had to look it up.
And what did you find when you looked it up?
Well, it was just like the Blue Alert is when a police officer gets injured, I guess, during apprehending someone, and then they get away, and then they like send the public information about the suspects. And like in our case, I think it was just like the license plate number of their car.
It didn't even have the information.
But like as I was reading, I read that they could just put out any sort of information on this person, like even like what they look like and stuff. Like, oh, they look like this. So it's just like, what do you expect? Like the public to just like, people, like.
Hey, maybe this is why we have citizens arrest. I got a Blue Alert. You're under arrest, sir. What the hell?
I know.
What is going on?
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. So when I first saw it, I thought it was like, okay, they've heard us 2020. Now they got an alert saying we got a rogue cop that's done. You know,
Isn't that your job? What the?
exactly. What are we doing here? Like, honestly, and I said it before on the show, and I'd like to know what your thoughts are. I don't care. I don't care.
Well,
I don't care that
it's
you're scared.
that they're asking us for help when we've literally been screaming at them for help.
Come on,
Right.
man.
This
Come
is-
on.
This
We got
Blue Alert
nothing.
sounds like more like an internal email.
Yeah, this is an
Yeah,
internal
I'm
email.
sure there are some like crazy Arizona people with like, I'm gonna get my gun and search for this person.
Hey, yeah, but you know what? They won't though. They won't though, because all these vigilantes, you know, not vigilantes, but these people that have these guns and are like, I'm pro gun and all this kind of stuff.
They won't though, because
they won't.
I guarantee you they're 4 beers deep by now.
All right, speak your truth.
I mean, what's wrong with
Speak
being
your
4
truth.
years?
I know. I mean, I'm on beer 3. I'm on beer 3 hosting the show. Hold on.
Oh, this is a good
I love it.
commentary. So Michael Neller says Blue Alert is a fear-mongering tactic to make people afraid of
Losing
their
perceived source of protection. Woo! Tell us some more.
Yeah, which
Let
kind
me
of
read
sounds
that
like
again.
we
Blue
talked
Alert
about that propaganda.
Is a fear-mongering yeah, it is, man. I see on our Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram, I'm telling you that's where the party's at. On our Instagram.
I don't know what kind of friends these people have, but I know my friends, if I was trying to get away with something, they would help me.
They'd be like, "Girl, you seen the Blue Alert? You better get somewhere quick." You know what I mean? You're helping me for sure. They're like, "Hey, man, turn it off."
Call.
We got another call. Kira, we're gonna take this call, baby. I love you. Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.
Welcome to Calling America. This is Kelvin and Taylor speaking. Who's calling and where you calling from, caller? Oh, whatever happens. Give us a call back, guys. We'll leave the phone lines open. The phone lines are open. We're going to hear from... Oh, there we go. There you go. Going on. Welcome to Calling America. This is Kelvin and Taylor. Who's calling and where you calling from, caller?
I'm calling from New York.
Hey, we got New York in the house. What's up?
I'm just wondering, do we just kill all the cops or what?
Woo! Okay, so should we kill the cops? Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, is it okay in LA to just walk up and shoot cops in the head?
Is it well? Let me ask you a question. Is it okay for cops to kill people when they are not the executioner? Hello?
I can't hear you.
Oh, is it okay for cops to kill people when they are not the executioner?
Well, I mean, I really think it's a whole different mentality. Like, cops are dealing with fight, flight, and freeze, which is, do you guys know about fight, flight, and freeze?
Tell us all about it, baby. Speak your truth.
Yeah. So, like, if you're a cop, right, like, you're different than me. Like, I work in mental health. I'm a social worker, and I call mental health people. I call the cops when I need to serve somebody with a petition on a daily basis. So I'm just asking you, like, what's your opinion? Like,
I love it.
All
I love it.
Social workers just go out there and get killed by people? Like, you guys have very jaded point of view.
Well, listen, I appreciate your opinion. Again, our biggest motto on this show is your opinion is not right. It's yours. And that's your opinion. I appreciate that. However, I do have a question for you. So you work in mental health, right? I worked in mental health. I worked in mental health for 5 years. Okay. I have a degree in psychology. I worked at Teros, which is a behavioral health organization. And I worked at Value Options, which changed to Magellan here in Arizona. I'm gonna.
That's where I started Value Options, case manager.
So we know each other, boo. We know each other. Okay. So now let's get real. Do you truly believe that cops handle situations and de-escalate situations better than a behavioral health worker? Yes or no?
I believe it just honestly. I mean, honestly, it's going to sound cliche,
Go ahead.
But it depends on what jurisdiction you're working in. I've worked in many. My brother's a cop in New York,
okay.
And you know, I mean, well, he's retired now, thank God. I would never want to be a cop in this world, but you know, it's a partnership, man. I mean, it's a very hard world for mental health people as well as for our law enforcement people.
Sure.
Our mental health people make a lot less than our law
They do,
people.
and they do more work.
They don't go out with a gun.
Right.
They go out with one gun. So, I mean.
And I have a question.
I don't think it's justified for what officers do, but I do think it's very different to look at. You know, if somebody comes up to my house versus like I'm in law enforcement every day. You're in a fight, flight, freeze.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that everything that's happening is not okay.
Yeah.
It is not okay, but we need to take care of our law enforcement people too, and their families. They have families as well.
Yeah.
And
so,
you're right. So do black people. So do black people.
She got shot in the jaw and she got out of that car. So I think we're in an environment right now where we got to find a middle ground in every single place we are, because one side or the other is not working, you guys.
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I you and I are in agreement there. The cops have the power to end this. If cops start holding bad cops accountable, because there are bad cops out there. I think everyone can say that, right? If the good cops, right, and I'm doing my quotations because I still have hope, but I haven't seen it yet. If the good cops start holding bad cops accountable, now we have our middle ground, because we have somebody who is on the police force fighting for us, who are saying, I was treated incorrectly. My husband's life was taken away. My brother's life was taken away. We don't have that middle ground, and that middle ground can only come from cops, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, my brother, he retired at 36 as an NYPD officer because he was hit. He's a white guy, hit over the back with a golf club and put in surgery. So, I mean, I think too, like at this point, I'd be interested to see how many cops are getting killed this year. I mean, it's a real interesting situation.
Yeah.
And I think everybody just really needs to be aware of that. We're so polarized right now. And honestly, I started watching your guys' thing because you guys have a neighbor out there in Phoenix who has alerted me to you guys, and I started watching it, and so here we are.
Okay.
And I think she's listening too.
That's awesome.
But
I love it.
think,
Listen.
you just got to find a middle ground, and
I love it.
when I started listening to this, it kind of was polarized.
I love it. I love it. And do you feel like you were heard tonight?
Yeah.
Awesome. Listen, what's your name?
Jean.
Jean?
Jean. Jean.
Sorry, Jean. Sorry. I'd love to have you on as a guest host. I went to school out at Pace University, and I'm a New Yorker. Okay, don't mind my accent. I lost it, but anyway, I'm a New Yorker. I love New Yorkers. We keep it real. New Yorkers keep shit real because they don't got time for anything else. So I loved your point. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. So I loved your point of view. I love what you had to say. I'd love to have you on as a guest host so we can really spend some time and understand what that middle ground is. I think what I heard you say tonight is that, cops, they have a hard job. They have a hard job and they got to go home to their families. I agree with you on that. I absolutely agree with you on that. I also agree that cops have the power to make change and they're not doing that. And I think that middle ground that you're talking about is that middle ground. I'd love to have you on if you're interested.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think it's about only the cops, though, man. I mean, the cops do have the way to make a change, but I mean, honestly, I think it's everybody. So,
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
will certainly, I'll get with my sister.
Send us a message. Send us a message. We'd love to talk to you.
Contact information.
Yes.
I'd love to be a guest host.
Awesome.
I'm in love with you,
Thanks for having
Jean.
me.
Thank you, baby. New York, baby. Hey, New York keeps it real. I'm in love with New York.
That was awesome.
That was
Like,
fucking awesome. I don't know who your sister is. I don't know who our neighbor is, but I'm in love with you.
what I like about
Keep
it
it
is
going.
it took a productive conversation, right?
man.
Like it came to, understanding. It was awesome. I like that.
So I was talking about mom the other day, and she, she was like, my mom and I, we are kindred souls.
You're two peas in a pod.
We are two peas in a pod. But my mother's an important person in my life. You know what I mean? She can make me feel amazing about myself, and then she can also make me feel amazing about myself. I'm kidding. No, I love my mother to death because she is just she's an amazing person. She has a lot to say. And we were talking the other day, and she was like, "Man, you had some people who disagree with you tonight on the show." And she goes, "I'm really proud of you that you can have conversations like that." I know I'm a passionate person. I know that I'm a loud person. I'm a handsy person. I'm this guy. You know what I mean? But that's just because I'm passionate about what I'm talking about, and I believe what I'm talking about. And I'm just a loud person. You know what I mean? And so it doesn't mean that I'm going to over talk you. I mean, I may try to get some jabs in here and there, but I'm going to let you speak.
Yeah,
you know,
we're gonna ask questions.
we're going to ask questions. I'm going to have some shit to say.
Yeah.
But but so should you.
And what's good about that is, it's
With the I thought that was part. I thought that was part of his thing. The Corona kid. I was like, oh snap. Fuck Blue Alert.
no, it's definitely a cool conversation. It's about
man.
open and honest, right?
It's open and honest, man.
We don't have to see eye to eye, and maybe we will. Maybe we'll
What's
come
the
to
solution?
a middle ground. But that's why I love that call. And whether it is people that we know or people that are complete strangers to us, it's awesome.
So last thing I want to say is this: if you're not following us on Instagram, listen, guys, I done told you 8 times to do so on the show. Follow us on Instagram. Get into the conversation. Instagram is very, very interesting in that it is no holds barred. No holds barred, dude. So I've been sharing because we had a great episode about echo chambers and how I just kind of was like, I'm no longer going to speak to echo chambers. I don't want to do that anymore. And so I tag everything. I tag when I post something that's happening in regards to Call It America, I tag it all. Black Lives Matter, BLM movement, White Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter. Because the reality is that we are not going to get anywhere if we keep talking to the same people about the same shit. It's just going to be the same shit, different day. That's we hate cops. Okay, cool, neat. We hate cops. I really don't like cops. I think cops are terrible. That's my personal opinion. Just because of what I've seen, you can say it's media, you can say whatever you want, but it's really truly social media. Social media are from people, normal people that just happen to capture something on their phone. That's not Fox News. Fox News, they edit and redact and all this other kind of stuff. So we welcome it all. Stop speaking to echo chambers. Talk to people that don't believe in what you say, and make it happen. What are your final thoughts, Tay?
So I had final thoughts of our guest host and the conversation, but I think my favorite part, and this is, I know you say it every week, but this is honestly probably the first time I've said this, is that was the best call. I think
that was one of the greatest.
That was awesome.
James from New York. Well, of course, leave it to a New Yorker, to get real. You know, I love it. I'm just trying to make sure we got all our comments and stuff. All right, I guess my final thoughts are, you know, I kind of had a bunch of final thoughts, but I love James. I love what she had to say. She was real. She was about it. And that's what I'm talking about. If you want to say something, say it. Because I got something to say, and I'm saying it. So my name is Kelvin.
I'm Taylor.
And that is our show.